I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Alina Vandenberghe. She is co-founder and co-CEO at Chili Piper. Alina, wonderful to have you on the show. Thanks for joining me.
So exciting to feel the energy on the floor today.
Great. So now before we get started, quick note to viewers, this interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, Alina, tell me about Chili Piper.
I am going to talk about three things today. Chili Piper, the product that we're building, Chili Piper, the company, and then Chili Piper, the impact around those around us. On the product front, the product is actually pretty easy for you to understand and for anyone watching this, is when somebody comes on a website and fills out a form to talk to the company, they might get a thank you message that says somebody will contact you soon. And sometimes the salesperson takes a while to respond, and they get a response within 24 hours, 48 hours, and they go to a competitor. So a lot of companies lose about 40 to 50%, sometimes even more, of people who come to their website to either ghosting or to a competitor, which is very, very hard because you spend all this money to attract customers on your website, but then you don't manage to get them to a sales meeting, and you want to bring the red carpet to them, right? You want to make sure that they get to meet your sales team and see your product. So that's the product that we're building. Then there's Chili Piper, the company. And within Chili Piper, the company, we do things a little bit different in that we imagine a world where people can work from wherever they are, so we're fully remote, and they can achieve the maximum growth at work. And for that, we employ coaches, we have people from 42 countries that are very different in their opinions. Like you can imagine Algerian with Israelis and Russians with Ukrainians. And we work a lot on our culture to make sure that they work well together, even if they might have very different perspectives. So that's very important to me, that we see a vision of a company that can operate in a very peaceful environment despite differences, and people can achieve most professional growth. And the third part that we started very early on, immediately as we raised money, is I feel that I, as a founder, have a big responsibility to make sure that success that we achieve financially has a positive impact on the world. And I think that in the future, companies will pay a lot more attention to that. We chose to care for something that was very important to me, which is that of stopping violence. And I know it's very, it's a very lofty goal. I know that some might think that might be naive to think that one can stop violence fully, especially now that we're living through a very tough environment. But I have hope that if we find tools to collaborate with one another, we can get to solve really big problems like climate change or poverty. And you can't do that if you spend the energy to just fight.
Yes. All right, now, how are you different from your competitors?
Lucky, we didn't have competitors for the longest time. I know it's kind of like insane. I didn't know why people were not doing what we're doing, because we are seeing such great impact on our customers. People have started copying us maybe like a year ago when they finally understood that things are happening. The reason why we've achieved the status that we have right now is because we spend an inordinate amount of time to perfecting all the use cases that our customers have. So we've been in the market for long enough to cover a lot of complicated use cases very, very well. And I'll take an example. We have Intuit, they have TurboTax. You might have done your taxes using them. When you go on Intuit's website, they are very good at determining who you should be speaking with depending on your profile. And they get you in front of the right person immediately. So for them, it's a great asset to be able to understand who in the sales team should be talking to you to be able to serve you. And similarly, within their product, within TurboTax, they also use us to make sure that they might be able to help you expand your usage of their product as well. So there's a lot of complicated use cases, and we've just managed to spend a lot of time on those.
All right, now you've had significant growth since you started the company back in 2019. To what do you attribute that growth?
The most growth comes from word of mouth for us, for Chili Piper. And the reason why that word of mouth happens is because at the beginning you look at Chili Piper and it's like, they're gonna double my pipeline. That doesn't quite seem right. It's hard to believe such a high ROI unless you hear it from a friend. If a friend has gone through it, then it's believable. So when our customers experience that growth, they use the same amount of marketing dollars. They don't have to do much because our product is just a little JavaScript in their form. And all of a sudden, they get double their money on whatever comes from inbound pipeline. That's like superpowers. So they talk about it, and that's how we've grown so fast.
Okay, now what are you doing differently from other companies that has made you successful?
It's our interest in our employees' growth. And when our employees truly feel that we care about their professional growth and we care for them as humans to have a peaceful context in which they work, then they become the brand, then they become the amplifier of the company. And that's been our secret weapon for sure.
All right, what's next for the company?
I'm excited about three things at Chili Piper. The first one is related to our ability to grow the product that we have, and we have a lot of plans to cover more use case to make sure that the inbound tools that companies use to welcome their customers and to impact them are a lot more prevalent. We also have, that's the second thing that I'm excited about, is a smart calendar that we're working towards, and it helps salespeople with the leads that are ghosting and with the customers that are ghosting. We've done a lot around it, but we're doing a completely new product around that. And third thing that I'm excited about is this vision of the future that Chili Piper has, that the world around us and our work environment can be a lot more conducive to us thriving as people if people learn how to talk to each other when they have very different opinions and they might appear at odds with one another.
All right, well, Alina, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you, Judy.